Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cowdino Arcade. Today we're back with video game therapy. I told myself I wanted to do these again every week, and I had a feeling, and I was like, man, I really want to write about this, and I was like, let me record a video game therapy about it. I just finished a book called The Alchemist. Excuse me, I had never heard of it, but apparently it's really well known. Excuse me, my throat's a little hoarse. Talking is probably the last thing I should be doing right now, but it's feeling better than it did like 2 days ago. It can't be sickness. I haven't had any other symptoms, but anyhow, The Alchemist. If you haven't read it, I'm gonna spoil it. I'll try to stay vague, but if you give it more than 5 seconds of thought, there's a good chance you can figure out. If you start reading it, you can figure out what happens. But the premise starts off with this shepherd, this boy who has a bunch of sheep, and he meets a guy who he has a dream about treasure in Africa, in Egypt. The boy is from Spain, and he goes off to find this treasure, and he faces many obstacles along the way, and he eventually gets to his treasure. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so the thing that launched me into thought at the end of it was, oh my god, don't tell me this was fruitless and there's no treasure here. I'm gonna be so upset. But then someone tells him effectively where the treasure actually is. And what launched me into this whole thinking process was how it relates to a proverb of like a Mexican fisherman. I'm sure there's other versions of it. And this proverb, as usual, VGTs are all over the place, but this proverb is something along the lines of a businessman, a corporate businessman, goes fishing on some vacation, and he finds a Mexican fisherman fishing with his friends on a pier, on a porch, whatever. Let's go with the pier. And they're fishing. They were playing guitar on his porch. Doesn't really matter. I'll go with it. Playing guitar. And the businessman says, wow, you're really good at catching fish. You should start to sell your fish, outside of the local market. And the fisherman says, okay, why would I do that? And the businessman says, well, once you do that, you can then, create a company out of selling fish, and you can hire more people. And the fisherman says, okay, but then what? And the businessman says, well, then you could become, some corporate CEO of this fish selling company, and you could share your fish all over the world. And you could get more money. And the fisherman says, okay, then what? And then the businessman, I'm not doing this story justice, I'm just rushing through it. The businessman says, well, you have so much money that you could keep expanding your company, and eventually you'd be able to travel. And the businessman says, where would I travel? And the businessman says, well, you'd be able to effectively chill with your friends and play guitar on the porch in Mexico while you catch fish. Long story short, the fisherman would go through all these steps just to do what he's already doing. His current lifestyle is enough, and it lets him do what he loves, hanging with his friends and playing the guitar. And eventually, he can one day get rich, and then do the same thing. And the point is kind of like, if you're happy, you don't really need to change things. And I think this is a question I've been kind of dealing with, of like, if things are good right now, why force change? But what The Alchemist kind of made me realize when I connected it to this proverb, this story, I guess it's not really a proverb, is it? I'm thinking of a different word. Is that it's not about where you end up, it's about what you do from start to finish. I'm sure the fisherman, he could be doing the same thing, but maybe he could have stories to tell his friends. Maybe he could offer his friends a job and then, get them money. I don't know. But I guess if the fisherman's truly content, you don't need to change things. But just because you're going to end up at the same place doing similar things isn't a good enough reason. You will learn things along the way, even if you end up at the same place. And so my whole little revelation here is that nothing is ever really net zero. For example, in physics, if we think really objectively, wow, that lemur's leaping, dude. You could say that if I, let's say, run 10 meters in a straight line, I'm 10 meters from my starting point. But if I run 100 meters in a circle, then my total displacement, that's the key word for it, I believe, my total displacement is not going to be 100 meters, it's going to be 0. because I end back at the same spot. Oh, I should have just... The lotus flower would have saved me, I think. Anyway. But in reality, I've run 100 meters, you know, to use this metaphor. It's like I'm still out of breath. I've still gotten the perks of running 100 meters. Even though my total displacement is 0, maybe I learned something along the way. And right now, you know, I'm in a job that I don't feel like I'm growing. A question someone asked me was like, why not stay with this job because it's remote? And then, you know, apply, learn skills on your own. And my answer is that because I'm not going to leave the job with any work experience. I'm not going to, you know, if I were to look for software engineering jobs in a year with the same job, I would not be coming out with applicable skills. And that's kind of the main issue. But while I'm still going to, I'm really hoping no one from work is watching. No, they would not even remotely visit the Cowdino arcade. Oh, that's rough. Anyhow, but it's not, I need to just remind myself that I'm not starting from 0 again. I've found something. I've worked with great people. I know, like, the people at my job are great, and I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be in a big company. You know what some companies offer. I got a sense for how things work. That's an unfair place to put a rock. I got a sense for how things worked. You know, signing up for insurance and what you get covered by and blah, 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 blah. That's nice. And so I need to remind myself that I graduated early specifically for this experience, this 6-month experience. You know, if I didn't like something, I could just move on. And that was the purpose of graduating early. And in a way, the plan has always been get some experience and try and move on. Hopefully, I could wish the experience was a bit more relevant and it would be work that I wanted to do. But yeah. Anyway, I'm realizing that I need to remind myself that it wasn't net 0. That when I'm going to stay optimistic, that when I get accepted for some new job and I get an offer, I'm not going to be starting like the blank slate that I was when I just graduated from college. I didn't have any official internship experience or anything. I'm going to have the experience of being onboarded to a job, working with clients in a big setting, and I have a bunch of experiences from this, and it's great. I don't really want to have them for another year, per se, but I will have them. It's not a net 0 experience. And again, this is why I graduate early. Gotta remind myself of this. And it's just a nice thing to remember. That, you know, our mission, our duty, as The Alchemist puts it, our personal legend, is... Oh, please let me jump, thank you. Every step of the way is the right one, even if it ends up being under our feet the whole time. I've been trying to complete this one achievement for months now, I think. Ooh, let's frickin' go. Yeah. I don't know, that was sort of my big revelation. Mainly it was with the fisherman proverb, the connection for that. You know, maybe it would be worth changing up your life for a couple years, several years, you know, if you want to make a whole corporation out of fishing. Not that it's an easy task. It's not an easy task. It would probably just take a while. God, there's so many levels of infrastructure yet. Maybe one day I'll, you know, get into the startup life, but I could not imagine it for myself right now. It's nuts. I mean, I do work on so many personal projects. Anyway, I mean, that's another thing, right? This job is showing me what I don't want. Oh, that was a wall run onto a grail, wasn't it? Rail. Give me another one. Give me another one. Not gonna give me another one? Dang, dude. This is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm just kind of going for this run because this is going really well so far. I don't know, I think even though, if we ever find ourselves wondering, or thinking like we ended up in the same place or something, Like, oh, why did I do this? I didn't grow from it. Why did I do this? It taught me nothing. Why did I don't know. Why did I take this job? I'm not getting relevant experience from the job specifically. Well, I might not be getting relevant experience in the tech world, but I'm getting experience in working with other people, working with clients, what it might be like, you know, trying to communicate these things to people, what the process is for all these types of things. And it's, you know, it does suck in the sense that I feel like everything I've learned, I've spent so much time teaching myself things and whatnot, and it feels kind of bad that I'm not using those skills in my job when it's something I've technically looked forward to for so long. But to some degree, I'm getting things from the job that I wouldn't normally get. Dude, I don't have many opportunities for this. This is so frustrating. I don't even know what biome I'm in. Wow, the magnet lasts for so long. I love this. I can totally get two in here. I could probably get it. Probably not. At this point, this is just a gaming video. Oh, I wanted to wall ride that for like a split second. Bro, this is so annoying. I had so many opportunities right there. Oh, man. This is so sad. This is so sad. You know what? It's 11 minutes. I want to do that again. I want to get this frickin'... I feel so good. Canyons. Oh, I'm already in the canyons. Bet. Is this a video game therapy? I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, of course it is. But it's also becoming a little alt gameplay. I'm kind of still letting the thoughts fester a little bit. Cool. There were so many like life lessons in that book. One thing that occurred to me as well is, you know, I probably wouldn't ever want to write like a self-help book, but writing a book in that tells a story, kind of like The Alchemist does, in such a way that you can kind of put those life lessons into your characters. You know, the various things I've learned from, you know, perseverance to consistency or whatever, putting those into a character through a journey. Because I realize I've learned a lot of those things through fiction, if you will, and fantasy and whatever. You know, like anime and learning tenacity. And sure, the louder you scream doesn't mean you're just suddenly going to win, but there are still lessons to be learned in many of these things. I am in the desert again, aren't I? No, I see balloons. You know, with everything I do, I gotta return to like an age-old idea. Not age-old, but an idea I've had for ages is like, everything you find that you don't like is one thing you find that you don't like. And it, in a way, gets you one step closer to finding out what you do like. Which can kind of suck sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Because sometimes it doesn't feel like you're taking that step, but you certainly can. Uh-oh. Whew. Again, I just gotta remind myself what I have gotten along the way. Really, bro? Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this VGT. I'm gonna get done with this. Freaking... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut until I get it. Yes, that's 3. That's 3. Let's go! Okay. Something that I just wanted to end on as well, now that I'm here, is that this personal legend thing. Now, the book was, I don't know, it discussed ideas of manifestation in a way, but it's like if you look for, like, you will find things if you look for them hard enough, pretty much. I don't know, there's a lot to say that if you feel a calling, you know, that might be your reaction to something, it's worth exploring. You know, it might be tempting to stay in various places, but forward movement's kind of what you gotta do. And if there's something that can't leave your mind, if there's something that's itching you, you know, assuming it doesn't hurt anybody or hurt yourself, or I should say hurt anybody, yourself included, then you should get out into the world and kind of do that thing if you have the opportunity. Because you don't know how long you will, right? If you feel a calling, do what you need to do to get there. You know, you might not be able to go there immediately. You might need to build up funds to get there. You might need to build up skills to one day get there. But as long as you have something that kind of sets your North Star, sets your compass, each step you take can have a little purpose to it. I think the step I've taken, it served its purpose. It took 4 months to serve its purpose, but it served its purpose. In terms of the job thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll stay with it because I won't do the proper training necessary to go with these new jobs, which is what I fully intend to do. But anyway, that is all for me today. We finally have moved on to level 30. Do we have another unlock now? Oof, one more to go with Paz. Okay. Startle a lemur while backflipping. Travel across the... Okay, that's easily doable. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching. Or not again, but thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, don't forget to stay awesome. See you next week.